Every day, people suffer from mental health crises, and it's important for deputies to understand how to best interact with people in crisis to de-escalate the situation peacefully. Our deputies go through crisis intervention training to help them recognize and respond to these crises in the most appropriate way possible. Let's find out more from our crisis intervention team coordinator, Sean Dundon.
My name is Sean Dundon. I'm the CIT coordinator, which is Crisis Intervention Team for Harford County, Maryland. I work for the Harford County's Office on Mental Health, and I'm assigned full-time to the Sheriff's Office. Crisis Intervention Team training is actually an international program that involves really teaching law enforcement how to handle and how to deal with people that are in crisis in the community. Really one of the goals of CIT is to recognize and respond to someone in crisis, because as you can imagine, police are responding to crisis calls literally 24 hours a day. And it takes some extra skill to be able to really see what it is that's happening at that call. So CIT is actually funded by the state of Maryland Behavioral Health Administration. So all jurisdictions in Maryland have access to this funding. In our case here in Hartford, that funding allows me to be a liaison and an advocate to connect law enforcement to the community and to our providers throughout Harford County. My employment at Office on Mental Health, we also are called the Core Service Agency. We oversee over 100 different programs in the county right now. The biggest one is probably the 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's our 24-hour crisis line. Some might call it a hotline, but 1-800-NEXT-STEP is the way to contact a mental health professional, a live person on the phone 24/7. Office of Mental Health, we also run the 24-hour mobile crisis team. So those folks that call the crisis line that might need a personal assessment, mobile crisis can be deployed to meet them in the community. So my job is to make sure that the hotline and mobile crisis is connecting to the people in need, and also how to connect law enforcement in those situations where we really don't want someone to go to the hospital if they don't need to. We want to avoid people getting arrested maybe for minor offenses, and we certainly want to help reduce any use of force in the community. So all about de-escalating and diverting from unnecessary interventions. The burden on law enforcement is very heavy when it comes to crisis calls. We believe that if someone feels the need to call 911, feels the need to reach out to police, it's a big deal. It's a real serious matter. So when police are being deployed in that way, we want to help them think about what it is they're going to sort of encounter at the scene. How can we employ these different resources and reduce their stress, reduce their time on scene, and really help push that person to the proper treatment and care. So in Harford County, we have the 24-hour crisis line, which is 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For anyone that's experiencing any kind of crisis, want someone to talk to, need support or advice, 1-800-NEXT-STEP is 24 hours a day. We also have the Client Family Crisis Center, and they're available on a walk-in basis for face-to-face assessments right there at the center.